The way you can tell whether fruit is truly organic is rub it like this, and then rub a little bit around your nostril and a little bit around the outside of the eye. When you start itching, it is a lie. It's not organic stuff. Right. And what I do is, if I have a fruit like that I have to get, and there's nothing else, I will take about 2 cups of water, and then I'll put about 2 ounces of milk in it, and a 1/4 of a teaspoon of vinegar, and then I put my fruit in there and I shake it. Basically, mainly berries, watermelon, things like that. And I don't eat the heart of the watermelon to keep the sugar down. Cherries are low in sugar too. Sprouts are very, very bad. I don't care what kind of sprouts they are. If you put a bird on sprouts, they will kill it. Only sprouts, it will kill them in 3 days. In the grain by itself, you have phytic acid. And that's what they tell you to germinate the grain or sprout it, to get the grain, the phytic acid out of whatever grain you be or nut. But what the problem is that you generate 3 other enzymes that behave exactly like phytic acid. So you have a 3-pound complex there. And see, the vegetarians and those people don't take the biochemistry all the way. And that's the problem. So that's why it will kill a bird in 3 to 5 days if you feed them only sprouts. You will die if you eat only sprouts. I've seen many people that have gone on a sprout feasting diet, and they've gotten very sick by the 3rd day. Severe diarrhea, cramping in the intestines, because they stop absorbing minerals, you stop digesting certain minerals, you stop absorbing and digesting proteins, and then the fats, so it's compound. All enzymes are processed. They do it with kerosene derivatives. Doesn't make any difference. All of them have to use kerosene. The only way you can get good enzymes is you eat a tablespoon of papaya or pineapple. It's as easy as that. If you want a digestive supplement, you take a tablespoon of papaya or a tablespoon of pineapple with your meal. It's that easy. Coconut butter is highly processed. It heats. Coconut cream is good. Coconut oil fermented is good. Yes.
Sure, yeah, I'll give you my contact info.
All of them are concentrated in sodium. All of them are called sodium. The only way you can get concentrated sodium is by eating tomatoes, celery juice, and watermelon. And those are not harmful. Pardon? Well, we don't suggest seaweed sodium. No. Watermelon, celery juice. Pardon? Dulse you can't digest. When I did experiments with algae and dulses and any kind of seaweed, 98% of it passed in the feces undigested. We are not water creatures to begin with to deal with all the sodium in it, and we don't digest vegetation. And that's sea-based, heavy salt vegetation. We digest 1%, 2% of maximum. But your best mineral supplement is taking raw and salted cheese and eating it with a tiny bit of honey. Like 6 to 1. Pardon? Correct.
Unsalted.
Unsalted, yes. No salt, raw cheese.
You said that cheese is the best mineral supplement?
Pardon?
You say cheese is a mineral
Your best
supplement?
food mineral supplement.
Without
cheese
salt.
with honey.
And no salt?
No salt. Any unheated honey.
Why would
Raw, they can heat raw honey. They can heat raw honey up to over 70 degrees raw.
Why would
You can even take unheated honey and heat up to 102, 121 degrees and call it unheated. You have to ask the farmer, listen, I want, who put that in? You have to ask the beekeeper that he doesn't
that
take
much.
never heats the honey to bottle it or extract it, should never go over 93 degrees. Now let me tell you what honey is. The bee collects the nectar, swallows it, pre-digests it. It makes an insulin-like substance which converts 90% of the carbohydrate into enzymes for digesting and utilizing protein and fats. When it gets back to the hive, it vomits. That's what honey is. Pre-digested bee vomit. And it's delicious, isn't it? You have to get away from all this icky bacteria crap. We are bacteria. Look at all the animals go around licking each other's butts all the time. Do they have a problem? No, that's good bacteria. Feeds their brain. E. coli is responsible, the fecal matter is responsible for feeding the brain and the nervous system.
You're not suggesting we eat shit.
For some people, I know that they do it when they can't eat meat. Like in Georgia, Russia, the poor people, they eat fecal matter. It's pre-digested by the herbivore, the cow or the buffalo, and it's pre-digested. Those cows and buffaloes have digested 58 to 67% of the fecal matter. Then when we put it in our systems, it'll get through in 24 hours. But it's not very good tasting, smelling stuff unless that's all you have. Then they love the smell of it.
Yeah, because the only person I've seen eat is dogs. They'll turn
Dogs
around
do it a
and
lot.
eat
Oh, a lot of
And
animals
kids
do
do
it.
that too.
You just only see
Babies
dogs.
do it.
their poo-poo.
Yeah. They play with it. They don't know that it's.
Absolutely, yeah.
They make finger drawings.
And you know, in this book, I have 82 sauces that can be made in 3 to 5 different ways. So that's 400 raw meat sauces, and they are incredible. Stroganoff, everything.
Raw meat sauces.
Raw wine. You got alcohol. It's going to do nerve damage. It's going to do liver damage. If you do like the
there's a-
French
yeah,
do, or used to before they got paranoid with fats, they also used to eat a lot of creams with their meals, and they could handle the wine because the fat absorbed the alcohol, and it didn't damage the liver and nervous system. So if you're one of those who has to have wine, make sure that you have some raw cream or raw butter first before you drink it.
And it's sauerkraut. Naturally done.
Yes, but again, it's a vegetation,
So,
and it will interfere with your digestion of meats and animal products.
well, if you're just doing it, I thought that the old people, in the old school in Europe and everywhere, the East, and
It works for
Ireland-
people who eat cooked food.
Right. It helps the digestive.
It helps the digestive if you eat cooked foods.
Okay, if you're eating raw, you don't need it.
Exactly. It's harmful if you eat a
Can
raw,
I change the
you know, a
subject?
raw
Can I ask you
diet.
a question? I'm going to
Yeah.
What do you think about the ratio between calcium absorption and silica? Since we're supposed to be going to a silica paste.
Like I said, in there, you don't
I
have to
wasn't
worry
in
about
there.
any of that chemistry. Forget all of that chemistry.
Silica.
You get silica in all foods.
Yeah, but how do you absorb it? That's the whole deal.
You
It's
eat it
absorption.
raw so it isn't
So
cauterized.
what is good silica product? Tell me.
Strawberries,
Right?
cucumbers, any, zucchini, any of those are high in silica.
And celery. No?
No, because of the high sodium, you won't utilize the
How can
silica very
celery
well.
so high sodium when it tastes so bland? It's lovely. It's very interesting.
That's
isn't it?
because
Yeah.
it doesn't have any carbohydrates.
Ah,
Celery is a negative. If you're having celery juice, there's not enough carbohydrates to digest celery, period.
so what should
So
you
that's why
add?
it's
Tomato?
mixed.
Tomato and carrot? Okay.
Well, if you're looking for silica, you want,
And how about milk products from cows? They absorb silica from grass?
absolutely. They do just everything. Yeah, but again, well, you can juice it, but don't eat it whole. No, never juice fruit.
Why not?
Because the sugar will rush into your system fast and cause damage.
How about wheatgrass? Wheatgrass.
Grass? I don't think you like it.
Not true.
You never have fruits.
Yes, I eat fruits, whole fruits with fat. Always with fat.
No more Jamba Juice?
Raw cheese. Let me finish. I eat the I eat the fruit always with either raw no salt cheese or cream or butter or avocado, because it slows down the sugar reaction. And in the citric acid cycle of making energy, your body uses 80% fat, 15% proteins as a form of pyruvate, which is a protein sugar, and then 5% vitamin C or carbohydrate. So we just need a small amount of the sugar. So if I supply the fats with it, and let's say I take a tablespoon of cream, that will be a ratio of about calorie-wise, fat-wise, about 6 times greater than the sugar. And if I add another half a tablespoon, I've got around the 80-15-5 ratio. Yeah, but I usually go overboard. I like more fat with it, so I don't have to deal with any advanced glycation end product that results from high sugar foods.
What about an advanced pancreatic cancer?
Absolutely, but when anybody uses an advanced case, like in this book, I talk about this woman who had emphysema. Her MD called me on a Thursday night. It must have been 1:30 her time. It was like 9:30 my time or 10:30 my time here. And she says, I have an emphysemic patient. Was diagnosed 7 years ago. She's been bedridden for almost 2 years. She's on machines for 2 years. She's going to die this weekend. What can I do? So you're calling me a little late, aren't you? And she said, well, I'm a doctor. I have to follow the medical AMA prescribed medical procedures, which is written by the pharmaceutical industry, for 10 years. If it fails for 10 years, I can suggest alternatives. If the patient is on their deathbed, I can suggest alternatives. So that's why she was coming. So if you go to a doctor, know that you're condemned to pharmaceutical therapies for 10 years. Can never suggest anything else. So go to a doctor is nonsense, a regular medical doctor. So I said, well, the only thing that I can suggest that you do is you get the most easily digested food in the world, which are eggs. And they can digest in 27 minutes. Milk is the next most quickly digested food, and it takes 6 to 10 hours. So I said, what you need to do is get her 10 to 15 dozen raw eggs, put them at her bedside, and let her eat as many as she can. And there's no limit.
You mean raw?
Raw, of course. So I got a call on Monday morning from this raspy voiced woman saying, it worked, I'm out of bed, what should I do? And I said, well, who are you? And she said, well, my doctor told you I had emphysema, I was on machines, I was supposed to die this weekend. I ate all the eggs you recommended, I'm out of bed and off the machines. What do I do now? I said, keep eating eggs, but how many did it take? She said, well, I ate 33 on Saturday and 33 on Sunday. And she says, I'm off the machines, out of bed. Eggs are so vital because you're only using 5 inches of the digestive tract to absorb and digest it. You don't need any hydrochloric acid. Use the bacteria in your mouth to begin it, like you saw me sucking and getting the saliva. Bacteria is the only thing necessary to digest a liquid food like that. Milk is more complex. You need some hydrochloric acid and some enzymes. But bacteria doesn't. So you're able to recoup very quickly because eggs has every nutrient on this planet. It's the only food that has it. However, it lacks the ability to multiply growth hormone. So you won't heal, you won't divide cells quicker. You will rebuild all the cells that are already alive quicker. In India, they don't have as many products. Like just in India last year, they came out with a new soda, which is from cow's urine. Because in India, they drink a lot of urine because they're vegetarian to recycle their proteins and B vitamins, especially B12. And your blood, your urine is nothing other than your blood without the red blood cells. with a little ammonia in it. So if your blood is healthy, your urine's going to be healthy. There's nothing wrong with it. One time I fasted an experiment for 45 days on drinking urine. I only lost 10 pounds, 45 days of fasting. When I fasted for 32 days, and I'm not for fasting, this is for experiment. When I fasted before on just water, in 32 days, I lost 60 pounds. I went down to 96 pounds. I don't drink water. Water's dangerous. It will dilute your digestive enzymes, nutrients, mostly alkaline. It will alkalinize your digestive juices, and it's not good. If you're eating raw foods, everything contains predominantly water. Meat's 70, 55% water. Milk is 86% water. But and fruits, 92, 93% water. And it's mineral and enzymes and vitamin rich, nutrient-rich water that your body can utilize. If you just drink water, what happens? You get thirstier. The more water you drink, the thirstier you get.
So what do you use for liquid?
I drink milk. I drink 2 quarts of milk a day.
Gold or calcium?
I drink calcium. I would get too thin if I ate goat's milk.
Raw milk?
All the way, everything I eat is raw. Wait a minute.
What's the question?
No, you can eat rotten meat galore. The Eskimos eat rotten meat. I eat lots of rotten meat. Pre-digested, like you. Wait a minute, this lady.
You know, some countries have well, people get cold.
People can get what?
They get cold about eating eggs.
Only if they're eating it cold. If you eat those things raw, they'll warm the body. If you eat cheese and honey together, you will heat up quickly. If your person goes around with cold feet and cold hands, you eat raw, no salt cheese with unheated honey, and you're going to get warm very quickly.
Two good questions. What do you recommend for diabetes, diabetic or vegetarian? I mean, I'm a vegetarian and I'm not vegan. But I can have dairy, so. Secondly, yeah.
Will you eat eggs? Okay. Well, if you do okay with it, fine. I have a lot of clients that just do dairy and eggs, and just a few that do just dairy. They're mainly women, and they do okay with it. If you do okay with that, you're fine. If you find that you're demineralizing, or you're not strong as you want to be, and your stomach is distended, then I would say you need some meat at least once in a while. The Dalai Lama got very sick 7 years ago. Fred Siegel, the famous, very wealthy Fred Siegel, is a friend of the Dalai Lama's. He's on my diet, been on my diet for 12 years. So the Dalai got sick. Fred flew over there and said, "Hey, I'm on this diet, look at me," because when I took Fred, he was 68 years old and like this. And he was on a vegetarian diet. His wife was vegetarian, been vegetarian for about 7 years and very weak. Went on my diet in just 18 months, standing straight and strong. 18 months after that, the Dalai Lama got sick. We went to the Dalai Lama and said, and the Dalai said, "Wow, you look great, Fred. What are you doing?" He says, "I'm eating raw meat. I'm eating this raw diet." The Dalai Lama that day ate raw meat. He says, "I'm not going to stick with vegetarianism, even though that was my teaching, if it doesn't serve me." And he says it's his medicine, and he eats the meat today because it's medicine. So you have to take a look, you have to balance your philosophy with that. And I thought that was the most brilliant vegetarian I've ever heard of, because he was willing to change. Let me get him.
A while ago,
Yes, good for any of the red meat tissue, muscles, all of that, yeah. Pancreas, spleen, liver, gallbladder,
You have to do a lot of
Mussels.
fast with the meat, right?
Always eat. I always eat butter with my meat. Not cream unless it's sour cream because it coats it and it doesn't digest well with fresh cream.
What about sugar cane?
Sugar cane, agave is completely processed. Sugar cane, when you get it, it would be fine if you juiced it. Now, when I'm in Asia, that's my main vegetable juice is sugar cane. I even grow it on, beside my house in Thailand. And I will juice that, and that's my main juice. I will add other things to it, I'll juice some carrots, something like that. The sugar cane is fine. Now, the only time that I found it caused a heightened sugar level was in children. It didn't cause them to be crazy, but it caused them to be more hyperactive. I suggest that people eat 1.5 to 2 tablespoons of butter with a half a pound of meat.
Any recommendations?
We're going to have to cut this out really soon. Yes.
One question.
And then my books are available, and the the DVDs are also available.
Oh, the primal diet?
They say it bad, poorly affects it. They don't know what they're talking about. Do I look like I have a problem? My brain. And I've been eating raw meat since 1976, 3 days a week, since December of '82, every day.
What's your blood pressure?
It's what, around it's around, just had it done a few weeks ago. I think it was about 76 over 110, something like that. But high blood pressure is good if you need it. The doctors want to put you on high blood pressure medication, you're in trouble. If you have high blood pressure, that means you have caked arteries or veins, or you're overweight and you have pressure on your arteries and veins. You need high blood pressure. Everybody needs high cholesterol in our toxic society. I've got a Hall of Fame basketball player who's just turned 90 this year, and his cholesterol level stays on my diet 672. And he outdoes the teenagers on the ball field at 90 years old. 672. He has no plaque. No. I had plaque in this carotid artery, carotid artery, since I was a child. And then last year, and I go have my system checked with a ultrasound, usually every 3 to 4 years. Let me finish. So I decided, well, I'm going to see what I can do with this, to break this down. I know that vinegar and pineapple are a great break down things very well. So I decided to do it in conjunction with cucumber juice, which is high in silicone, will help the membrane of the skin. So I made a mixture every 3 days of this mixture and drank it. I just had my carotid artery checked 4 weeks ago, completely clean. And every year to come back with the right one, and they showed the photograph of the thickness. This time, since I did that, and I only did it for 9 months, 2 to 3 days a week. And in that amount of time, it completely cleaned that carotid artery.
What was the mixture?
The rate I used about a cup of, or 3/4 of a cup of cucumber juice, a tablespoon of vinegar, an ounce of pineapple, and I put a tablespoon of, 2 tablespoons of coconut cream, and a tablespoon of dairy cream. And it came out to about a cup.
No, doctor.
I blended it, yes.
No, doctor.
Because and I peeled the cucumber, because that's vegetation, we won't digest it. And then slice it in the circular slices.
Any recommendations for fasciitis?
You got more questions answered than anybody.
So big, so what?
Plantar fasciitis and repairing damage from diabetes.
Well, fasciitis are the protective tissues usually in the foot. And they get they're collected with a lot of toxins, so they start hardening, dead cells in there. They don't have the elasticity anymore, and they start buckling. That's the big problem. You can put clay packs, moist clay packs, you have to keep them wet all night long with hot water bottles around that. That'll rush the nutrients in there, and then the clay will also draw the poisons out to the skin. Terramin clay is the best. Terramin. Now I suggest that eating-wise you get the TerraSilk, not the Terramin. Use the Terramin for a face, do just the opposite of what they say.
Classes or something? Come and visit?
Well, no, I have a DVD here. You know, you can watch it many times. It's 5-hour lecture.
Oh, so
cover
you're not
all of
teaching
that.
or doing anything?
I do that all over the world, but not here in LA.
How about the desert or something?
I haven't done it in California, except in Northern California.
What states in the U.S.?
I do it in many states.
Is your website?
And you have to get on my email list, optimal@earthlink.net. Optimal@earthlink.net. You email me, I'll put you on my email list, and you'll get notified when I do the search. Next, I'll be going to Asia and then to Australia. Well, you can do that, but you also have a lot of damage to the system usually when that occurs. I don't find it's a safe way to do it.
The Chinese study these days.
What are you doing?
But they're also using chemicals in that process. And when I did the fecal tests and the urinary tests to check, they always say, they use a pig test and say, well, 90% of it is removed from the body in 42 hours. That's in pigs. In human urine and feces, I've only seen 24%. So you've got those chemicals now in your body, even though you don't have plaque. Now what are you going to do? You're going to get thrombosis or varicose veins. That's what you're going to end up with. So you have to watch your treatments. Even though they may work, they can do have side effects. So you have to be very careful. No, the plaque can get dissolved, but it also, the chemicals in the formulas that they use to do that start eating into the arterial vein. No, because those foods are processed. There's a chemical involved there. You check it out. You check the chemistry all out. You say, absolutely, I want to know everything that's in this product that you use to clean the system. And it's not plant-based. You can have plant-based, but if it's treated with kerosene, you've got kerosene in it. I don't care if it's plant-based. You can have vitamins, plant-based. Kerosene in it. A lot of other chemicals.
The author, the guy said that
Very toxic. No, that's not full of kerosene. That's full of just dried, dead stuff. It's good minerals for plants. You can't put kerosene. And if you have liquid whey, that would be different. Fresh liquid whey. That's just, it'll pump you up with good minerals. It'll give you a lot of minerals to build your muscles up, but it'll be flat. Excuse me, did you have a question? No dehydrated food because there's no water in it. You destroy the enzymes in dehydrated food. You don't digest maybe 5–10% of it. Unless it's something like raisins or dates, then you will digest a lot of sugars in it. But you better have a lot of fat in it. Because you have a lot of advanced glycation yogurt formed and stored. They live in what? I've never experimented with cooking.
They went out of business.
But I don't know that. I don't know if it's truly law. Well, he's a what they call instincto. He eats a lot of fruit, 60% fruit. He also has a serious psychological problem. He goes to anger quickly. He doesn't sit well. He doesn't read well. He's on the move all the time. I don't want to help that way. I want to be able to sit, have a good relationships, and not be yelling at people. Way too much fruit. Yeah, 60% fruit. She didn't get cancer from the meat. It's impossible. You get cancer from building dead blood cells. Dead cells. Well, cancer break down dead cells. So her liver is probably not producing bile to digest fats to help the lymphatic system dissolve dead cells and remove them from the body, or her lymphatic system wasn't working.
Remember that wasn't for real.
Vomit. Vomit, there's bile in your vomit, you know you produce it. Or if you eat regurgitate and get that acid, that nasty, bitter acid. Hydrochloric acid is not bitter, but bile is. Get that bitter acid, taste, or that gas, bitter acid, and gas, when you belch, producing hydrochloric. Also, you can tell if in your feces you've got raw cream that comes through and it's like pearlized and shiny and it coats everything. You're not digesting fat. We're not making it. That's the best. I already talked about that. Yeah, right. Remember, parasites are your best friends. They get rid of dead cells the quickest, toxins of the body. You have rectal damage? Blood vessel. Well, when you have that kind of situation, call me. It's the only thing that's going to resolve that. I'm talking about salt already. No matter what kind of salt it is, you've got concentrated rocks. We don't eat rock in the first week. And when we eat rock salt, no matter if it's Celtic, Dead Sea, no matter what it is, your body will separate, isolate the sodium and it becomes explosive. You heard it. 5%. I recommend people do 10%. I've been on this diet so long, 10% is too much. I only want to sleep 4 hours a day and work 20 hours a day. If I eat 10% fruit, I will sleep 6 hours. 2 hours of the day I've lost. 8,000 or more? 8,000 or more? Well, I eat, usually I have my vegetable juice first thing in the morning, cheese first, then about 30 minutes after that, vegetable juice, about 35, 40 minutes after that, I'll have my meat meal, and then I'll sip on milk, throughout the day, or sports formula, and ice cream formula, and then about somewhere between noon and 2 o'clock, I'll have my fruit with some kind of fat. Usually, like today, I have berries and milk and cream and eggs. 6 eggs. I sip on that through the afternoon. And then I'll have my meat again in the evening or during the night. Like I said in my book, wheatgrass is very bad. There are more books and things down here. You like me to sign?
Yeah. Do you have more CDs left?
Pardon? Wheatgrass has a tendency to make the intestinal tract alkaline and the blood acidic, and you need just the opposite. The intestinal tract needs to be acidic to digest your animal food. Yeah, well, you don't want to over-acidify the blood. The blood should be about 5 for a human. All these alternatives say, oh, we should get it up to 6.5, 677, something like that. If you did that, you wouldn't digest anything. Then you would need protein and fat. So mine's been 5.5 for 28 years. Genetics. Yes.
What's your take on the thing happening with cancer? How much of that is
But I sent out an email, and you can get it in the newsletters if you subscribe to the newsletters. $85 a year. You get all of my letters back to 2006, and that's about 1,200 pages. That's going to be my next book. So you haven't had it. So I've got all that stuff in there, what to do to offset. Because there's a lot of food I have to offset. Yeah, but that'll be out in a year. But you can get all the information already if you subscribe to my newsletter at the website. Okay?
The very first thing you eat is cheese. How many ounces? Well,
I eat a tablespoon and a half of cheese first thing to absorb all the poison. When you eat unsalted raw cheese alone, it will absorb all the poisons that are in your stomach and intestines, and you'll pass out in feces. If you eat salted raw cheese, you'll reabsorb it because the salt explodes and breaks it down and digests it for you. If you eat pasteurized cheeses or homogenized cheeses, they will redigest your poisons again.
so that's 1 tablespoon of cheese.
1.5 tablespoons of cheese.
What type of cheese? Cottage cheese?
It's up to you. Doesn't make sense.
Doesn't matter.
As long as it's raw, no salt. No, cottage cheese is normally cooked. But you just let it sit and clabber. And then you pour that into a cheesecloth or like a good t-shirt, like this material or organic, sewed into a sock. And then you pour the clabbered milk into that, and then all the whey drains out and ketchup and you drink that. And then you've got this cheese, cottage cheese. You let it dry as you want, just add a little cream to it. It's got to chew. Okay, pancreas has nothing to do with digestion except that it's an architect. It tells the body what enzymes it needs to make to break down the foods, molecules, and reconvert them into human cells and human nutrition. The pancreas doesn't actually do anything except address it, but it will, if you eat excessive fruits or excessive sugars, it has to make insulin. Normally, pancreas does almost nothing with insulin. Insulin used to be just a fraction of the diet because only 5% carbohydrates were supposed to be 5%. Lucy, 4.3 million years ago, had a pancreas 2.5 times smaller than ours. She was a raw meaty. She didn't eat fruit. And when you live outdoors like I did for 3 years, you don't find fruit everywhere. And where you find it, the birds eat it all. So you do not, primates did not eat a lot of fruit. That is absolute Paleolithic bullshit. Excuse but when I hear somebody come up with that theory and they never lived outdoors long enough to know what goes on. And I bicycle all the way from Yucatan to Alaska, living off the land. And there are no fruits unless you cultivate them. Absolutely none. And the birds get them when you live there. Absolutely. Well, in conjunction with the hot baths, the hot tubs. I had lymphoma. I had them all over my body. Lipoma is still a fat. Yeah, it's not a fat. It's usually a node, a lymphatic node that's swollen with fat.
I got one here. I think it's a way to pesticides.
Yeah, it could be. Absolutely.
So how do you get rid of it?
Pack it with clay, keep it wet, wrap some plastic over that by touching the skin, keep it moist all night, put a hot water bottle. Yeah, and then you put the, like, wrap the towel around the hot water bottle so it stays, the heat is concentrated into the arm. Well, you should be doing a good diet. Yeah, eat some pineapple and coconut cream.
15 years.
I had a woman who had one this big, and she was crippled 3 years ago when she came to me in Chicago. She had rheumatoid arthritis, and all of her knuckles fell like this. A big mineral lipoma, as big as a hardball right here. Her knees were blown out this big. All the toes, the joints are all crippled. So a year on the diet, she came back. She did a hot bath 2 days a week, 90 minutes a day, 2 days weekly. She came back. She was able to feed herself now. Her husband still had to do those. She could stand up with holding something. Then the next year, I said, you need to do more hot baths and just keep it up. And when she came back this year, I said to her husband, strong guy, I said, look, you need to put her in every day, 90 minutes a day, and I'll bet you she'll walk in here next year. So 2 months ago, I was in Chicago, and guess who walked in? That massive swelling went down in 1 year, and it had been there for 15 years in those hot tubs. 90 minutes a day. And if you get too hot, you can't stay in, you just take an ice pack and put it on top of your head for 5 seconds. It's the brain that hates to be overheated.
You know, we got a big radio station in Boston.
About 105 to 108.
What about if you use DMSO?
It's a poison, it's a chemical. Now, like I said, when people use DSO internally, only 24% leaves the body. DMSO is a poison, a chemical. Okay, folks, we're going to have to end it there.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Frank.
That just means you're not breaking down your fat, so you're not, your ammonia is being built with fat. Not a bad thing. That's not a bad thing. Just eat some pineapple and some grapes.
Right. They come out of the garden and then